Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
I'm never going to make anybody look bad, so if you say something that you wish you hadn't said, just let me know.
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Sheila. I live in Orangeville. I'm a grandmother, a great grandmother. I love coming on your show. I love politics. And I think the reason why I got onto your show, Aaron, is just because you do it right. You do the politics right. It's not, I know you're going to say, Mr. Pickles, that I'm a little bit weird that way, but there's no whole bunch of swearing and stuff like that. So it really makes me happy. And no, I'm just happy to be here, and that's who I am.
Paul needs supervision sometimes, I guess. I don't know.
Honk, honk.
I mean, I'm filterless most of the time, I guess, but I don't know. It's I'm 46. Oddly enough, I was born in Orangeville. I live in Kelowna, BC now, and I mean, I've been somewhat interested in politics, I suppose, in my life. Yep.
Did you say Orangeville?
Yeah, I was born where you live.
Really?
Wow.
What's awesome? Sorry for jumping in there. Wow.
So like like being someone interested in politics, my life. This last, of course, 2-3 years, of course, when you really start seeing the damage that's been going around the country, I feel like everybody gets more involved now, and that's why you have such a draw to YouTube and X and all these places, and people are wondering what's happening to this country. And I think it's very important for channels like this where we can spread awareness and have a community to talk about it, because you can't really understand or believe what they're telling you on the TV anymore, right? So
yeah,
it's great to have a place where we can all come and talk as Canadians and filter through all the bullshit that's slung at us.
well, that's true.
I agree 110%.
Yeah, me too.
All right, guys. So what we'll jump
So where
into
are you from, Aaron?
next. What we're going to jump into.
Yeah,
Hey,
what about you,
where are
Aaron?
you from? How old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah, where are you from? How old are you?
Oh, so my name's Aaron. I'm not going to reveal my age. I'm a little bit older than Paul. I'm a lot younger than you guys, though. And just kidding. And but I'm from Nova Scotia, and my attraction to politics was just I noticed my standard of living, which should have been improving because that's like the model that I was raised on, was going down. Like I was doing the same job. I had a government job for almost 20 years, and my standard of living, I'm a single guy that has very basic standards. And it was like, why is there no money left? And so I started watching politics. I wanted to do a YouTube channel, but we started doing federal politics as the YouTube channel. And it's worked out. It's almost a year. I think the 27th is the 1 year anniversary of doing a live question period. And it's been growing, and it's been a lot of fun. Met a lot of cool people, especially like yourselves. That's my take. And I'm 48 years old. I don't mind saying.
Oh, okay. You let it out of the bag.
Never thought
Right
I'd get to
behind the
this
ears.
number, but here we are, and it isn't so bad.
There's no shame in admitting you take naps, man. We all do at this age, right?
No, and I sleep in and go to bed early. Like,
Oh yeah, right.
yeah, I'm the same as my cats, Kirk, and don't reveal any secrets.
Yeah, it's interesting points. To further that, what you said, Aaron, like, the explosion that's been online to these political channels. Like, you look at some of these other guys, like, they go from 0 subscribers to 15, 20, 50,000, in months. So it shows you, the drive of the Canadian population that's looking for, like, a truer sense of what's going on.
Well,
So,
that is a funny thing. There must be a lot of curious people out there because I know I don't know much about this stuff. I think a lot of the people that come to watch, once they start viewing and see our community and how we interact, are attracted to that. Like, because they're just curious. They don't want to be called stupid, or they don't want to be called, like, they're just learning as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But times in Canada have never been like this before in my life. Like,
No.
I still believe it in my heart. that Canadians are the best people on the planet, or some of the best people on the planet, but what's going on with our federal government these days, man, they're taking us down they're digging a very deep hole for us.
I
Yeah.
think they've taken advantage of how polite and loving Canadians are, right?
Yes.
And even, I mean, you're watching this country burn all around us, and even still, like, who puts up with this shit,
No,
right?
I'm with you there. I do think that they were like, oh, we can take advantage of that, and also the world thinking that things in Canada, because Canada had a reputation as being one of the top 3 countries to live in for a long period of time.
Yes.
The freest, the cleanest, the most respectable, like,
Yeah.
Friendliest.
most
Friendliest.
welcoming, and then it's just now we're doormats. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
No,
I
well,
feel the
We're
same
being-
way.
Yeah.
if you listen to around and well, you'd be very aware of this, Mr. Pickles, that the international reputation of Canada has taken a deep, dark turn.
Oh yes. Oh,
Right, Sheila?
oh yes.
You-
It's
you-
crazy. Like I feel I just don't feel Canada is Canada anymore, and I feel a little nervous, as to be honest with you guys, about what is happening on the world stage, as towards meaning Trudeau and his power, wanting to stay in power. Is this guy going to bring on something that, like a new pandemic or whatever, just to stay in power? Has anybody thought about that? Or
Well, like there's a new bill out there that's preparing. It would seem for is it C 273 C 274 like
293.
293?
C 293. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
well
293.
that's an issue. What do you think of that, Kirk? Like another pandemic is on the way.
Oh,
Well, we heard about it about a month ago.
Yep.
What are they calling it? The monkeypox?
Monkeypox.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who's lining up to get a vaccine for any other government pandemic at this point? Like, who's
Not
gonna?
a
Oh,
chance.
okay. So, and how many people do you know that have 12 boosters or something, right?
I know a few.
Exactly.
I got
Yep.
fooled. I took the first one. I took
Oh.
the second one because of my work. I've since retired, and I'm not looking at another one. I've got a whole host of weird little things that are bothering me that never bothered me before. So it's hard to say. Maybe it's getting old. Maybe it's having a couple of shots. I'm not sure. I can't figure that out.
Well, I'll concur. Like, I had to take one just to keep my job, and I'll throughout my life I've never been sick. I'll go 5 years, but when I do get a cold, it's a bad one. But since taking that shot, like, I'm sick like 2-3 times a year.
Oh,
Ah.
absolutely. I'm sick more than that, actually. For the past 3 days, I have zero taste. Other than that, I feel a little worn. I don't feel great, but I'm certainly not laying in my bed. I can't taste a darn thing.
Well, I don't know
Just
if
teasing,
it's
I'm
getting
teasing.
old.
I'm
Yeah.
just
Well, that
teasing.
might be
I'm just
that,
teasing.
that might also be because they're changing the food, right? I mean, when's the
Yeah.
last time like food tasted like food? Like, you look back to 20 years
right.
ago, like, it doesn't
That's
taste the same
right.
anymore.
No, it doesn't
No.
look the same anymore.
All
Well,
this shit they're
nor
putting
we-
in the food, these additives. And if it's funny, if you look into Europe or, well, even in Russia, man, like the same ingredients that are in our products here, the same product, it's half
are
the
banned.
ingredients.
I
Yeah,
know. Yeah.
half the ingredients.
Ridiculous.
Like the
Yeah.
color of, say, like a Fanta here as opposed to in Europe.
Yeah.
They're totally different colors.
Yeah, the coloring is banned in certain countries, and yeah, there's a lot of food that is around that other countries won't even look at.
That's right. That's
we
right.
Eat, we eat pretty clean, pretty healthy, pretty basic. I guess you'd call it whole foods these days.
This whole campaign, right, against the Western world all at the same time, where everything's happening to the same countries, the same Western countries
Yeah,
at the exact same time. Like, it's ridiculous, man.
It feels like
Yeah.
something sinister is like just behind the curtain, but I can't see behind the curtain. Like
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking about that. Like, congratulations to Ireland because they just defeated their hate speech bill that was being forced on them. So they're the
That's
first
right.
Western country that I know of that told them to fuck right off.
Good. Good.
Yeah. Right.
Because
So we have 63 that's being read. I think the second time or third reading in the House, or like it's about to get pushed to the
Yeah.
Liberal stacked Senate in Canada. And like,
That's
if that
fair.
goes through, man, we're going to be just like Britain, just like Australia, just like New Zealand. You know,
Yep.
we're locking up 70-year-olds for waving flags in the street, British flags in the street, and letting a criminal out just so you got a space for this person to get put in jail.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
exactly.
Like that's not my Canada. That's not what I was promised,
No.
right?
It's
And it's
so much.
it's heartbreaking.
It's
You know, and so they
Yes.
got all these backstops to combat, you know, people like us, where oh, you're a racist or you're transphobe, right?
Oh,
You're,
goodness gracious. That's
and that
overused.
as soon as
no,
you
it's still
ask a question that's pertinent, that is a difficult answer for them. When I say them, you guys know who I mean. They just start attacking you with like
Yeah.
the things that you don't want to be called, like sexist, racist, and
That's right.
or
I've got black friends. I've got Hindu friends. You know what the
yeah, me
difference is?
too. I'm the
The
same
ones
man.
that
I don't judge
yeah,
people
the ones
until
that came
they
here
affect me.
that want to be a Canadian, right? They're Canadian. That's you know,
That's right.
those are the friends. They're not the ones that are you know running around praying in the middle of Toronto streets and screwing up traffic and you know
Exactly.
Taking a dump on the
people
beach.
taking dumps at the Tim Hortons gas station, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh.
That they bring their culture here, and that's not a Canadian anymore.
Right.
Like I just
No, it's not right. No.
you're being
No,
run
you're right.
run out, minoritized in our own country.
And that's not
Well,
the thing is, Paul, they'll call you racist for saying something like that. You too, Sheila. They'll call you racist for just
I know.
you and
Yeah.
the thing is we're not racists here.
No,
I'm not.
no,
I definitely am not.
Like,
no, none of us are.
You want
I
to
think-
import your third world problems into Canada or whatever? You have no want to be part of Canada. You
That
want
is
to
right.
change this into the third world shithole that you came from.
Yep.
And Mark
Yeah.
Miller and Trudeau is making it very easy, and they're doing it on purpose, in my
Oh, yeah.
opinion. Right,
They are.
settling all these people in groups.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for the people out east because, you know, out west here in BC, it's not so much of an issue. But everything I see on the TVs out east, man, like, you know, it makes sense that you would settle all these people into the provinces that have the most seats in parliament because eventually they will be able to vote. And they'll remember who brought them here and who gave them cell phones and put them up in hotels and,
no,
you know, gave
it's an
them a better life
investment
than
in
what they
votes,
had.
I believe.
What's that?
Well, it's just
The immigration problems stem from an investment in votes, like because they can't get votes from the people that are here. What do you think about that, Sheila?
I think it's ridiculous. Okay. I don't think you mean about the voting? That they're allowed to come in and vote as soon as they get here?
And they open the doors to make sure that like it's an investment in getting their vote later on down the road.
Absolutely. Yes,
Still
absolutely.
there's still no, I guess, evidence that they can vote when they land. But I mean, you listen to what Mark Miller said. He's bringing these programs in. If you're going to come to the country and you apply that you're going to come here to be a healthcare worker or a early child educator, he's proposing to give you permanent residency immediately, right? And that is
He's an idiot.
dangerous. Yeah.
He's an idiot. I
You know, he
mean,
sits
I
there and
can't.
says he's going to turn the taps
He
off,
is an
and then he's
idiot,
opening them
Sheila.
wider.
Yes.
Well, I thought he also said though, and this is bullcrap to me. I thought that we were supposed to get like rid of 70,000 international students. Okay, where have they gone? They haven't gone anywhere. They're still here. They're still protesting in Brampton and everything else. So I don't get this where they're saying that they're sending them back home, the ones that ran out of their visas and everything else. So why is that? Why do you think this is going on? Do you think it's just a hype?
It's things that is easy for them to say, but is hard to prove.
It's a good point,
It's
Kirk.
easy for them to say it.
Again, that's a liberal tactic that we see being used all the time. Like, we'll throw this piece of misinformation that's really hard to prove or get a grip on just to distract and delay and move time. Because
We're
that
going to what
seems
Kirk
be.
said last night when we talked. I mean, people lead busy lives, and especially now. I mean, they got to work two jobs just to, you know, put food on the table. A lot of people don't have time to pay attention to what's actually happening. So, I mean, what you're going to get, I guess, snippets on the news about how they say they're going to, you know, turn the taps off on immigration. Nobody takes it that step further and investigates to see exactly what actually is happening.
What is actually happening? Yep.
Right.
You know,
Well,
you don't have to immigrate to Canada anymore, proving that you can afford to live here and you're going to be a
That's a big
productive
one.
member of the Canadian society. Now they're just letting them onto the plane, and as soon as they land, they claim asylum.
That's right.
It's an
That's right.
issue. So I'm gonna change topics here, guys. Just a couple of questions. We'll go to Sheila first. What is it about committee compared to question period that you enjoy? Because I love question period. It's great pageant. It's a gong show. It's fun all the time, like entertaining
Well,
at least.
I think,
But what about committee? What
yep,
do you
yep.
think of that?
Well, with committee, I think they're, well, not that they're a bit more serious. They should be serious in the House regardless. Doesn't matter. But in committee, I think that they get more done in the House because let's face it, it's a gong show in the House. I mean, they can't get anything done from fighting amongst each other. It's just ridiculous. And look what Jagmeet did the other day by standing up and trying to beat up Polyev. Like, this is
It's
all going crazy as
ridiculous.
far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned. I don't know. But Kirk, what do you think? Like, being the age that we are, I mean, don't you find that it is so different now than it has ever been?
Oh, very
Like
much
how,
so. It's night and day. When
yeah,
I was a kid, you would come in when the street lights came on. There was no fear of
that,
anything.
that's right. But that's the
It's
thing, you can't anymore.
it's all changed around. Committee is more of an investigative body, I
Yeah,
would think,
yeah.
more so than a get something done committee. What we're finding in committee now is just horrendous with the SDTC
Oh
situation.
my goodness. Oh my
It's being
goodness.
covered by other tubers out there, and
Yeah,
it's just astounding. You will not see that on mainstream TV. Now,
you're
I
right.
remember
You're right.
you asked me when I was younger, or has things changed?
Hmm.
When I was a young man with two kids going hard, you had about 15-20 minutes where you all sat down for supper and you're glued to the news. I
That's right.
got 20 minutes, I need the news. Now
That's right.
you don't have that option because it's not news, it's something that's
No.
made up and
And
it's
the thing
fun.
is, yeah, you're right.
And the only way you're going to find out what is going on, like I did personally with the trucker convoy,
Mm-hmm.
I watched those guys out there, the YouTubers, they were grunting through -30 weather, and the
Yeah,
coverage was awesome. You
yeah,
didn't see that from mainstream at all.
that's right. That's right.
So
No,
What you saw on mainstream was them like urinating out in public and hanging Nazi
yeah,
flags on statues
yeah,
and
exactly.
disturbing the peace and just
Exactly.
being a nuisance.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what you
Bull
so
saw,
crap.
right?
Yeah, bull
committee
crap.
is
Yeah,
committee is a
exactly.
total committee is a totally different animal compared to
I
question
like
period.
committee. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
committee is, I guess, question period just in slow motion.
It's a bit of a slow
Yeah,
burn on question uh, in the committees.
Committee,
Like it
yeah.
takes a long time to get there, but at least it gets there. What do you think,
Well,
that's
Paul? What
right.
do
it's
you think about
exploding now.
what do you think, Mr. Pickles, about committee?
I think, the committees that have an actual scandal topic are worth watching, that consist of front bench MPs. But I find it's all just redundant because nothing ever comes of it anyway. And if there is ethic violations or whichever, I mean, they get a $500 ticket. So nothing really, comes of it. I find most of the entertainment's
Yeah.
watching the question periods.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
question periods because it's so grandiose. Um, and the committees
You know
seem
what
a
it is?
bit more refined.
I
But
like the committees because you get to see exactly what type of piece of shit
Yep.
that you're dealing
There
with,
you go.
right?
you
There
Yeah.
you
guys, you
go.
guys saw Bossino up there the other day. That guy's
Um,
gonna get away with
oh,
it, or a
oh,
five
they
hundred
all
Well,
dollar
get away
fine, like
with
Paul
it.
says. Like,
They all get away.
they all get away
yeah,
with
there's
it.
no
That's
repercussions, and he's had
No,
this. He's had a committee brought for committee 3 times now, and you seen him that day in the House, him smirking, his smug look on his face, because he
uh,
knew that they closed the investigation on him. So when he showed up
yeah,
for committee, right, like he's like, that's the first thing he said. Like, didn't you get the memo? Right, this has been closed.
yeah, it's
Well,
a big
he lied on
smug
the stand that day, so
grin.
they're just going to bring another one. So this is going to go on and on and on at the cost of what, millions to us.
Millions of
And
dollars.
at the
yeah.
end, even if he's guilty, like what is he going to get? A $500 ticket?
No, pretty
That's it.
ridiculous.
Question for you.
Who's in
It's
that? Where's the
ridiculous.
handcuffs? Like, where are these handcuffs for these people?
We
No,
get a change in government. PP takes the win, hopefully.
Yeah. I hope so.
What? There's no statute of limitations on all these committee findings that are out, blowing out
No,
now. Can
I don't think,
BP reopen or restart investigations? Because there needs to be consequences other than a $5,000 fine for those folks, which is like me taking a nickel out of my pocket.
I hear you.
I hear you.
So
You're right,
does
Kirk.
Pierre Poilievre have any recourse once he's in power?
Well, this is the thing. Yeah, I haven't heard of it. Like I've heard of some of his policies, but yeah, is he going to,
Is he
yeah,
going to go
bring it.
after these criminal people?
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
he's
It'd be good
tiptoeing
to
through
see
the
a little
tulips,
bit
a
of
lot of it.
justice.
He's tiptoeing through the tulips on a lot of these issues right now because he doesn't want to jeopardize the points that he might get by saying something badly regarding
Right.
immigration or what could be done with these. There's the wrong time to pick the fight. But you're right, Kirk. If
I
he
agree.
wins, I sure hope, for the love of God, that he makes these people accountable.
A little
Yeah.
bit of
How
justice.
can you do this?
Try to
you
get some of our money back.
exactly.
we all know
All that
it's
stuff is
never gonna
gone.
happen.
It's never coming back. But
Never
it'd
come
be,
back.
it would be nice
No.
to think that we could. Anyhow, guys, on a light note, we are going to wrap up. The next question is going to be, do you have a favorite politician? Who is it? Do you have a least favorite politician? Who is it? And
That's easy.
we'll give you whoever's ready to go, like, can answer the question, because I've got a favorite and I have a least favorite. I'm curious to know who you guys
I'll go
think.
first.
All right, Kirk.
I'll
Go ahead,
say- I'll have to say Khalid is my least favorite.
Oh,
She makes me absolutely crazy. I think steam comes out of my ears when I listen to that person try to make a point. Oh my.
No, she's
Point of
embarrassing,
order.
man. It's hard to watch
Yeah,
that chick.
she really
Like,
is. She really is.
Point of order.
Point of
Point of order.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
like
really.
a little child.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Gives her
terrible
points
in an
like a
adult body.
little princess that has never
And
been
I
told no.
think my favorite is a hard
That's right.
choice because there's quite a number that I really like, but I've got to say Brock.
You got
Yeah.
Larry Brock?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because of his performance in committee.
No, he's amazing in committee. Like, it's hard to stand out in the House, but in committee, you can see his prosecutorial experience.
Oh,
Like,
very much.
it comes through. What
Yeah.
about you, Sheila? Who you got?
I'm with Kirk. I love Brock, but I also like the little bulldog, Mr. Cooper.
Oh, he's
And I also,
Cooper too.
yep. And Khalid, I think that she's on everybody's mind, to be honest, because she is a rude little person and she never stops. And it's like, give me a break. But yeah, she just goes on and on and on. So I do not like her whatsoever. So I'm right with Kirk there. I love Brock and I love, or I don't love Khalid. I don't like her. I'm not going to say anything really rude, but yeah, I just don't like her at all.
No, she's an unlikable person.
Oh, she has to be because I usually like people, but not her.
Not her.
Stop
You got
it. My
Paul?
dogs are going crazy. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I've got a guess. I think I've got a guess at yours. It's a.
I don't know if I could just
possible
narrow it down to
immigration,
just
right?
one. Yeah, I don't know if I could just bring that to just one, man. You said, you said something this morning about it or whatever, and like I rattle off 12 just, immediately. Favorite for my favorite politician. I mean, I don't know. I really like seeing the glee in Shear's eyes the other day, right?
Oh, that was
Oh,
That was
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Brock,
That
I
was
really
great.
like him. Like he's no bullshit. Barrett, like he's great too. Lanceman's another really good one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cooper, I like him. I like Ferrari.
I like
I think
Furry
they're
too.
all-
Furry's a big stud.
They're all in the same tune, like of how what our ideals are and where we think what a Canadian means to be a Canadian. As for like the worst ones, like oh my god, like yeah, you're right. Mark Miller, fuck, total piece of shit. What do you got? Verani, he's the Bill C63 sponsor. Anthony Rhoda, he's a real piece of work. Greg Fergus, he's also a terrible one, right? Freeland, Gable, Boissonneau, Champagne, Angus, May, right? Fry, who else? Blanchett, Anand, Yara Stacks, like they're all piles. And the one that could have be doing something to save us So let's not forget Sellout Singh. But the
Jagmeet
one that
Singh.
could,
Yeah.
the one that could be saving us, who has definitely neglected her duties, is Mary Simon. She could have called this
Oh,
government long ago. And guess what?
but
She's
look
liberal.
what she's at. Yeah, exactly.
Governor General of
Exactly.
Canada is a liberal, right?
Well, look
And
how much she stole from us too. Don't forget that, right, Mr.
man,
Pickles? She has stole so much money from
it's
us.
disgusting how this has worked. And then you look at, the Senate and what the Senate means. That's the last stop before law. And look how many senators Trudeau's appointed in his time now. He's
Yeah.
stacked.
Yeah.
He's stacked the Senate. Like it's going to be 2 generations before we're going to have a actual Senate again. And I start looking at this. How is it that you can abolish the Senate? Like, is there anything that we can do? There's nothing that we can do. You'd have to get every premier, every province to agree with it. You'd have to get the Senate to agree to abolish it, and the House of Commons, which will never happen.
Nope.
And
No.
this country needs massive reform when it comes to government.
Sure
You should
does.
not be appointed as a senator. You should be elected, and there should be a 4-year term.
Yeah,
No,
I totally agree.
Totally agreed. Those are some interesting politicians for sure. Paul, you had quite a list there of politicians that you don't like.
I could keep going.
No, I'm sure you could. Just start looking at the senators, right? Anyhow, I'm a big fan of Mike Barrett. Like, I find that he's in the trenches all the time. And my least favorite has been recently Greg Fergus. Like, we have Varani, Anand, Freeland. They're all issues. Jagmeet is a problem, obviously. But, big fan of Larry Brock. A big fan of Pierre Poliev. I like Andrew Scheer. There's a bunch of them. Michelle Ferreri. I like Rempel Garner. Like, I like Cramp
They're all
Newman. Like, there's a bunch of them that I like.
Quality people.
Good.
Polyev goes without saying, though, right? I mean,
Yeah. All
I
right,
mean, he's
Dan.
definitely the right pick for the party. He's definitely the right pick for the party.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. This has been a pleasure. That's about a half hour. It's been 32 minutes or something.
Already? Wow.
So
Wow.
anyhow, guys, I gotta wrap up and get out of here. I've got to use the washroom so bad.
The
Actually,
truth
you
comes
guys can
out.
hang out. Like, I have stopped recording. Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
My name's Aaron. This is Canadian Looney. We cover Canadian federal politics. I'm glad to have a chance to introduce the gang that I have with me, the closest ones, my moderators. I've got one more moderator that was tied up today, couldn't make an appearance, but that is the core. Those are the people that we're watching Canadian federal politics with. Come and join us. We watch the daily question periods. It's fun all the time. It's always entertaining. Anyhow, that's it. My name's Aaron. Like, subscribe, share, get notified. We're trying to show Canadians what in the hell is going on in Canadian politics. I'm pretty resourceful at finding the material and getting it out there. We cover the committees and question periods mostly. Anyhow, that's it. I'm Aaron. Canadian Looney. Like, subscribe, share, get notified. Leave a comment. We do love the comments. Check your next video.